What is procrastination and why is it dangerous? We can procrastinate and wait until the last minute because we don't like the task, or it's too challenging, or we are afraid of consequences and negative results. In a nutshell, procrastination is a habit of delaying something, especially when it needs to be done urgently. But it's not just a simple bad habit, it always has a negative impact on your life. And when it comes to your health, procrastination can even be life-threatening. Here's how it can happen. Once the author's father felt pain in his chest, but decided to postpone his visit to a doctor. He then changed his mind and went to a hospital to find out he needed an urgent surgery. A surgery that wouldn't wait a couple of days and eventually saved his life. If he would have delayed his visit, he wouldn't have survived. But it's not only about health. It can also be an obstacle to achieve your main life goals. To overcome it in your life completely, you should develop an anti-procrastination habit. This book will guide you step by step on how to build this habit, but it needs some significant effort on your part. Dedicate time, not only to read the material, but also to do the exercises and practice routines. The author became interested in learning more about procrastination once he noticed how unproductive he was in his day-to-day life. Though he was able to set and achieve long-term goals, his basic daily to-do list suffered. He always postponed simple tasks, like paying taxes on time, to the someday list. Until this habit hit his wallet, badly. One year, he forgot to file an extension on his business taxes and had to pay over $2,000 in fines. This incident proves that some habits cost too much to keep them. This expensive mistake prompted the author to come up with a planning system that allows accomplishing long-term and short-term tasks on time. Why do people procrastinate? Everyone has their own explanation or a combination of them on why they are putting off a task, but here are 8 common reasons. Read them through to find something in common with your thoughts. You are a perfectionist, meaning you are afraid of making a mistake. It's more common for people with a fixed mindset. Those who believe their abilities are permanent and can't be developed with hard work. So, they give up on trying as, obviously, they can't make their work look perfect. Fear of unknown. It's the feeling when you'd prefer not knowing the truth and avoid it at any price. But it backfires with all sorts of negative outcomes, especially when it comes to health issues. For instance, if you notice a mole and it turns out to be cancer, the chances to cure it are much higher in the early stages. The truth here is that the earlier you can get information, the better chances you will find a way out. What are you afraid of, and what is the worst outcome that could happen? Do it later. Get fit. Eat healthy, find a better job and start it all on Monday. Face it, it often means never, not later. This is related to 2 concepts. Hot-cold empathy gap is a bias when it's hard to picture yourself in a completely opposite situation. For instance, keep a cool head when things heat up. Time inconsistency is a situation in which a decision-maker changes preferences over time, in such a way that the preference can become inconsistent at another point in time. When a deadline is approaching, and you would give everything for another 24 hours. But knowing about this deadline a month ago, you wouldn't think of an extra day at that moment. You know what will make you happy in the future, but it's you in the present time, who has to do all the heavy lifting, so you concentrate on short-time pleasures, instead of long-term progress. Focus on easy tasks. When an easy task is accomplished, it gives you a kick of energy, and a feeling of success. It takes more time to wait for that treat with harder tasks. The emotional part of your brain often wins over the logical part that knows the benefit of a long-term goal. No motivation. It happens when you don't have an interest in the work you need to accomplish. No clue how to start. The task might be new, too complex, or too difficult. To fix it, try to break your complex project into smaller pieces. Write them down. Decide what to do first, organize and review your list, and do one by one. You get distracted. Use tools like self-control or freedom to block yourself from surfing the web, spending time on social media, etc. Get rid of games on your smartphone. Try to disconnect from Wi-Fi whenever you need more concentration. Switch to airplane mode to avoid push notifications. Use noise-canceling headphones and even shut the door to your room or office. Not enough time. You can fix it in 2 ways. Review how you plan your schedule and find extra time. Do a small effort that takes minutes instead of hours, but it eventually brings some progress. Don't have time for a whole body workout? Do a 15-minute walk. A small step is better than nothing. Try this exercise to identify your causes of procrastination. Take half an hour to write down all the tasks you delayed within the past month. Then write honest reasons next to each action you postponed. Compare them to the reasons mentioned above. Keep them in mind when you read further. Identify your core projects. How to Stop Procrastinating approach asks you to write down all the commitments and goals you want to accomplish within the next year. Include medical issues, work-related and personal projects, vacation plans, habits to build, important events, and things you've been putting off. Use an app or notebook and keep this list next to you. The following task might be the most challenging as it demands a high level of dedication, but it's also the most rewarding one. It will help you putting your priorities right and narrowing attention around core projects. If you limit yourself to a few options, it will be more easy to take actions. Use the 25-5 rule. Write down 25 goals you want to accomplish within the next few years. Then pick 5 of the most important. Make those 5 your priority and avoid spending time on the rest from the list at all cost. No compromises here. To identify these 5 projects, you need them to match with your internal beliefs. Try to identify your core values first. It can be something like your family, career, marriage, spirituality, finances. Try to refresh your mind from beliefs of others and concentrate on your own outlook. Think of the happiest time in your life. Think about the moment that you were proud of yourself the most. What was it that made you feel fulfilled and satisfied? Try to determine your core values on your past life experience of feeling happy and satisfied. To pick the most important values, imagine a situation where you have to pick between 2 of them. Do it until the main value remains. Once you have your list of goals for the next year, match them with your values to clean it up until you have your 5 core projects. Then, make an effort to spend your next few months on working only on those core projects. You will procrastinate on purpose with the rest of your goals from the list. Now you need to think about the outcome you would like to get. Turn your projects into SMART goals. Set your goals quarterly, not for a whole year. Use the SMART acronym to pick your criteria. Your goal should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. In the end, it forms a goal with details, like who is involved in the project, where it will take place, with a focus on what you really need with specific deadline. Keep your focus on these 5 core projects. Don't say yes to any other opportunity that will distract you from your goal. Turn your core projects into SMART goals. To do it, you break your core project into short-term SMART goals. For instance, your project is to spend more time with your family. To achieve it, you will turn off your computer every day at 5 p.m., and don't work on weekends, dedicate 2 hours to spend with children, go on a date with your wife twice a month and so on. To stay on your plan, schedule a weekly review session to make an action plan for the next week. You will always need to make some adjustments to your projects. Sometimes even change your focus to another project if your interest will shift to something else. As people often procrastinate because they don't know how to start, write a list of actions you need to take for every project. Take steps one by one. Use an online app like Evernote or Todoist to keep it all together. You can add pictures, video and anything digital to your Evernote notebook. Todoist is more about managing different lists, from a personal one to a separate for each of your projects. Reserve some time every day to review your milestones. The key here is consistency. Apart from daily and weekly reviews, set aside some time to evaluate your quarterly goals and change them if you need. Learn how to say no. Reject all the projects and tasks that don't align perfectly with your core projects. Doing so, you won't feel overwhelmed with massive loads of work, a common cause of procrastination. Remember, whenever you agree on something new, you actually say no to your core projects. Try these 5 practices to master how to say no without experiencing problems at work and feeling like you are rejecting people. 1. Be honest and polite, and explain as quickly as possible that you are not available to do the job. 2. Identify compulsory tasks and do them. It helps when you relate them to your core projects. For instance, cooking while spending time with your family. 3. Take a moment to compare the requests you get with your core projects and outcomes. If they don't align, reject these requests for your time. Think also why exactly you want to take on a new project instead of something you've already had on your to-do list. It might be a signal to change your core projects. Think whether you would like to sacrifice your time from other activity, like a hobby or leisure time. 4. Have a frank conversation with your boss about your main career projects. Think ahead about the tasks that bring the most impact on business. Schedule a time for a meeting and briefly tell the reasons behind it. Admit that you can't cope with the load of work, and want to concentrate on your priorities. You can eliminate unnecessary tasks, delegate certain duties, skip some meetings. 5. What you would like to see on your obituary. That you were overworked and took everything on board, or you succeeded in the areas you wanted. When you align yourself with your goals and consistently say no to anything that doesn't match your current focus, you'll free up a time to focus on the activities that are worth reading about when you reach the end of your life. Plan your week ahead. Spend a few minutes every week to plan your next week and milestones you'd like to reach. It's best to do it on a weekend. Review your goals and think what deserves your attention this week and how much time realistically you have available to spend on it. Apply the 80-20 rule. This means that only 20% of your efforts produce 80% of results. Focus on those activities that produce substantial results and structure your schedule in accordance. Use Google Calendar to plan your activities, dedicating from 30 to 60 minutes on each. First, block out time for the plans you have already made, like meetings, deadlines. Arrange to have time on high-priority tasks. Schedule time for your hobbies. Leave some time open in your calendar. Block out time to think about any ideas that come to your mind. Write an action plan for them if possible, or put into an archive to review every month. You can use task batching, time management system that minimizes stress while you are fully concentrated on one type of tasks. To go further, you can even create a theme day that allows focusing during one day on a certain group of tasks. Remove all distractors when you focus on work that demands high concentration. Define what distracts you the most and fix it. Daily practices to beat procrastination. These strategies should help you get rolling, even when you feel a lack of motivation. 1. Fix all emergencies immediately. Ignoring them can lead to catastrophic results, so it's better to address them right away. 2. Do daily review sessions to remind yourself what tasks are important. Spend 5 to 10 minutes on that. 3. Pick 2 to 3 of the most important tasks and make a commitment to finish them before the end of the day. Focus on them right away in the morning. 4. Do the most challenging and hardest task first. It gives you fulfillment for the rest of the day. 5. Apply the decision-making strategy called the Eisenhower matrix. To use it, you need to sort your tasks in 4 categories based on urgency and importance. In result, there will be 4 lists: important and urgent tasks that you need to do immediately, important but not urgent that you can schedule for later, not important but urgent that you should delegate, and not important and not urgent that you should get rid of. Avoid the last list at all cost, i.e. playing computer games, browsing web. You can categorize all of your weekly tasks using this strategy to see how efficiently you spend your time. 6. Do quick tasks straight away. If it takes only 2 minutes to do, then better do it than adding to your to-do list. Or if it needs only several simple extra actions, do them immediately. 7. Use the mini-habits strategy to make hard tasks simpler. Set doable and easy goal when you feel like the whole task is too difficult to complete. For example, if you want to master writing, your goal should be to write 1 sentence every day. 8. Make a habit to spend a small amount of time every day on complex and difficult tasks. It can be 15 or 20 minutes, but it's easier to persuade yourself to do it, especially when it comes to unpleasant tasks. 9. Use sprints to work on challenging projects. The Pomodoro technique developed by Francesco Cirillo is a good time management practice. Once you have your task, concentrate on it for 25 minutes without distraction, then take a 5-minute break and change activity. Repeat it 4 times and take a longer break for 15 to 30 minutes. This technique keeps your brain fresh and energetic. 10. Master the feeling of uncomfortableness. Sometimes a goal you need to accomplish requires uncomfortable efforts, like doing exercises to be healthy. To master this feeling, you need to train your mental willpower. Start with an easy task and do little by little. Increase your efforts until you start feeling discomfort, then do another extra effort. Get used to the feeling of being out of your comfort zone and smile. 11. Be aware of your procrastination. Tackle it as a task. Here are some techniques that Leo Babauta's article, Building Awareness of the Procrastination Urge, recommends. Make notes around the areas you tend to procrastinate. Write tally marks to count the moments you feel like skipping your plan. Log in every day to keep track of your awareness habit. 12. Connect actions with rewards. When something unpleasant is coming, connect it with your favorite routine, as James Clear recommends in his article, How to Stop Procrastinating and Boost Your Willpower by Using Temptation Bundling. 13. Connect your tasks to bigger goals. Sometimes the tasks you don't like can bring you closer to your goal. 14. Make your goal accountable, especially if you tend to relax before getting your things done. You can declare your goal publicly on social media, or use Beeminder app that will charge you money if you fail to achieve your goal. Coach.me is another app to turn your goal into habits and track them. Make a personal step-by-step plan. Turn the information you know into a plan to eliminate procrastination tendencies. This is a summarized version of all the approaches used in the book to make your personal plan of actions. 1. Write your commitments for the next year in an app. Identify your core values and goals. Pick 5 main projects out of 25 you could concentrate on this year. Apply the SMART technique to make a 3-month goal for every 5 projects. 2. Plan your weekly review session. Define your obligations, priority projects and time you can this week. Apply the 80-20 method. Reserve time on your calendar for your tasks, leisure, and other activities. Try days dedicated to a certain theme and concentrate on hard tasks. 3. Group your small habits into one routine and complete it every day at the same time. 4. Challenge your reasons behind procrastination tendencies. Conclusion. Procrastination might sound harmless, but avoidance behavior can prevent you from achieving your life goals, dreams, or even be life-threatening when it comes to medical conditions. On a positive note, there is a way to overcome it, but it needs your self-discipline and some hard work. The main lesson is to implement exercises and routines you just read about. Overcoming procrastination is hard work, but who said it's not rewarding? Try this. Start by identifying your 5 main projects and focus exclusively on them. Remove all the clutter, distractions, and don't agree on anything that takes away your time. It not only removes stress and anxiety but frees up time that you can spend on really valuable things. Track your progress with a series of actions and weekly reviews. Stick to your plan even if you have only 5 minutes on your daily routine. Use online apps to keep your ball rolling. Be flexible with your goals if you need it.